The 30th day of April 2016 was crisp and clear, and it was the day that we had all been waiting for. We had been discussing all winter long what new voyages we would like to make this summer, but today's voyage was paramount. The day we bring the Joan Lynn out of winter storage to start the summer of 2016. Although we got an early start, we were the last boat to leave the cabbage farmer's barn.
Well, the boat's all ready to go. We're all loaded, ready to go back to Rochester. Ran into one small snag. Apparently the main battery, the starter battery, was dead, and I couldn't even get it started with the jumper box that we brought, just in case something like that ever happened to us. So what we ended up doing was Monterey puts a switch in their boats, which I was able to use house battery power to start the engine. Lucky for that, we have two large house batteries in the boat, so we were able to get it started that way. Otherwise, we would have been up the creek without a paddle, no pun intended. But we are on the way now. Everything's packed up, everything's connected. All we got to do left is check the lights on the trailer to make sure they all work, and then we'll be out the door.
There are two types of people in this world. Those that own boats, and then there are those that are just along for the ride. There's only one day that comes around each year that I wish I was one of the latter.
Once the boat's electrical systems were turned on and checked, the fresh water system was flushed, the software in the boat's computer was updated, and all the storage compartments were cleaned. It was time for a ceremonious moment.
The boat looks clean.
Why?
Because we were cleaning it.
Who was cleaning it?
Always look at the white sky and you lose your head in the clouds. Wanna step onto them and float down to the ground. You appear from the hillside and there's a funny look in your eye. Between a rock and a hard place, and I will either do or say die.
On May 24th, Sue from the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary 9th Division came to our location to conduct a vessel safety inspection.
By the way, I'm Jim.
Hi, I'm Sue. How are you?
Sue began by checking all of our paperwork. Then she proceeded to inspect the cabin and the required fire extinguisher inside. Sue inspected all of the life jackets on board and found them to be sufficient and in good condition. Navigational lights were found to be in working order. Flares and flare gun ammunition expire in 2018. She asked Jim to open the engine compartment so that she could inspect the flame arrestor and found the engine room to be immaculate.
Oh, beautiful. Wow, that's spotless. Yeah. How do you think that's okay? Well, thank you for your
Thank
time.
you very much. I appreciate it for
Have
coming
a
out. Yeah.
good rest of the day.
All right. See ya. Okay, our first voyage of the summer, finally. We are just a couple of miles off the shore of Lake Ontario, Port of Rochester.
And our destination is Cobourg, Canada, which is almost directly across the lake. Maybe a bearing of about 328 degrees or so from true north. We're heading there now, and we'll take you along with us on the camera here and show you a little bit about what it's like to be out in the middle of Lake Ontario. Here we go. We are officially out in the middle of Lake Ontario. We are on the US-Canadian border as we speak, and you cannot see land no matter where you look in any direction. We are right out there. And we are about an hour, hour and a half away from our destination. Everything's going to plan, and it's a beautiful, gorgeous day out on the lake. No waves at all. Awesome. Cobourg Marina. This is Joan Lynn over.
This is Cobourg Marina. Go ahead over.
Yes, sir. We just entered your harbor, and we're looking for a place to check in with customs and transient slip for the night.
What's the size of your vessel?
28 feet over.
You can proceed to our Alpha dock, slip number 27.
Jump. Okay, Alpha dock, slip 27. That's a roger, over and out.
Cobourg Marina standing by on 6-8.
As we approached our slip, we discovered that two men from the marina were waiting for us to help us tie up the boat. Such hospitality.
Coming across the lake today?
Yeah.
Nice day for that.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
In your kind of boat, okay? Not my kind of boat. It wouldn't be very.
After our vessel's hot skipper
Giggity.
checked in with customs, it was time to pay for our slip and check out the facilities this beautiful marina had to offer. This was one of the cleanest facilities we have ever visited. The marina offered laundry facilities, showers and restrooms, Wi-Fi, and more. And the employees were among the friendliest we have come across.
We returned to the boat to plug in AC power and turn on all the AC systems. Then Joan made some sandwiches in the galley for lunch before we headed out to explore the town.
Cobourg, Canada, baby.
An employee of the marina told us that just recently, over 200,000 fish of various species had just been released into the harbor. There were fish everywhere.
I may never find, 'cause I don't stay. I send my love down the power line.
found the town of Cobourg to be quaint and pleasant, with its little shops and restaurants up and down the main stretch. Everything traveling boaters could need, even a supermarket, all within walking distance of the marina. And it seemed like Cobourg had an ice cream store on every corner.
Outside my window, I see fields.
And then there was the beach, Victoria Park. Huge beach.
You want to go to the beach? Why?
Because first I like to swim, second I want to see the girls.
There was so much to do. The beach had a playground, a spray park, a fast food stand, basketball courts, and more. There was even a walk to cure Alzheimer's taking place on the beach that day, but turnout was low. I guess most of them forgot to show.
Under the palm tree is where we dance tonight.
On our first evening in Cobourg, we chose to dine at the Jailhouse, a restaurant and tavern that was once a jail.
At the Jailhouse restaurant. We're going to go check out the old jail. Hopefully they won't keep us here overnight.
I hope they do.
So fine.
The Jailhouse prisoners from 1906 to 1998, when it was purchased at auction and converted. However, the new owners kept the jail theme, and a small portion of the building remains as it was and is now a creepy museum.
Keep moving. We got to keep grooving. We got to keep moving before seeing a time. Oh, baby's not the end of this world. We still got time to make
Buffalo is very hot. My lips are burned.
Oh, show me what you got.
On our last night in Cobourg, we had dinner at the Oasis Bar and Grill, recommended by a few of the locals as one of the most popular restaurants in town. Service was a bit slow, but the food was delicious. And they even had live music outside.
After enough coffee to get us through the day, we began to pack it up and began our voyage back to Rochester. Before leaving the harbor, we stopped at the marina's fuel dock to top off the gas tank. In Canada, all passengers and crew must disembark while the boat is being fueled by the attendant. We made the voyage to Cobourg to scout out the town and see what it had to offer. What we learned was that Cobourg was a welcoming and accommodating town with much to learn, see, and do. We couldn't have possibly done it all in one weekend, which provides us with the perfect excuse to return another day.
Because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day.
All right, it is June 20. Take two. And we are on our way to, Joan, well, tell us where we're...
Sackett Harbor.
Sackett Harbor is we're going to go first, but then our ultimate destination is Association Island, which is...
Henderson Harbor.
Henderson Bay. Okay, now we have the Coast Guard on the radio. We are headed to Association Island, which is... we are, Joan, tell her, Joan, tell everybody where we're going.
Okay, here's the way it's going down. We are leaving the port of Rochester for a 90-mile cruise northeast to the Association Island in Henderson Bay, where we will stay at the KOA camp and marina until Monday. But first we will cruise 8 miles past Association Island to Sackett's Harbor. We will stay in the harbor for the afternoon to refuel the boat, stretch our legs for a bit, and get a bite to eat. We will then leave the harbor and trek back the 8 miles southwest to Association Island for the remainder of our trip.
We have our full crew on board for the first time this year. Tyler, Justin, and Cole, and as well as me and Joan. And we're headed out now. And that sucked. Cook, give me a hand.
We were no strangers to Sackett's Harbor, and it felt great to be back. We were all hungry, so we made our way next door to a place called the Boathouse, and we had ourselves a big lunch.
We made it to Sackett's Harbor.
We've been here before. It's good.
Even the seagulls like to eat here and dive down to take what they can any chance they get. After lunch, we crossed the street to visit an antique store we had been to before. Musty smells of dust and rust, old leather, and vintage wood are the voices of thousands of ghosts, each one attached to a single antique, whispering their stories from long ago.
We made our way back to the boat, gassed her up, and then headed out to Association Island. The passage into the harbor is very narrow and guarded by shoals and shallow water on both sides. You can see how close attention to our depth, wind direction, and marine charts were important here.
settled into our slip, we rented a couple of golf carts for the weekend. I think this was Tyler and Justin's favorite part of the trip. Eventually, the boys even allowed Joan and I to take off on our own to explore the island.
We're gonna take it around. We're gonna take it around. By these wide stars.
What the hell are they laughing at?
The next morning, Cole and I decided to try our luck at a little fishing. We didn't even get so much as a nibble. For Dad,
It was more hassle than relaxing. But the boys soon realized that there was a lot more on the island to do.
Keep on moving till the first days are done. Keeping it on till the day stays strong.
To anyone who likes to camp or boat with children, this place is a must. The island is accessible by boat and automobile. As you will see, there is a lot here to offer the kids, and the price to stay here is more than reasonable.
Time for a champion, through the soul of the land. Men the art from the sea and sand, till the sun comes up again. Time for a champion, through the soul of the land. Men the art from the sea and sand, till the sun comes up again. Reach for the sky, keep your eye on the prize. Forever in my mind, be my golden sunshine. It's waiting in your mind, so push them clouds aside. Forever by my side, you're my golden sunshine. When I sunset, I let myself down the ground beneath my feet gone. No more words with it to speak.
We left Association Island early the next morning. The marine forecast was calling for increased winds and wave heights as the day progressed, and thunderstorms in the evening.
It's time for a champion, through the soul of the land.
Lake Ontario showed us who was boss that morning as we made our way back to the port of Rochester with winds 10 to 15 knots and wave heights 2 to 3 feet.
Till the sun comes up again. Reach for the sky, keep your eye on the prize.
The Joan Lynn was dry docked to its trailer so as to get it prepped and ready for our next adventure.
So push them clouds aside.
Hello from the cabin of our boat, the Joan Lynn. We're very excited because we are leaving first thing tomorrow morning for a trip. Probably one of the longest trips, if not the longest trip of the entire summer. Joan and I will be heading out from the port of Rochester tomorrow and heading up to Kingston, Canada. And Kingston is in the Thousand Islands. We'll be circling the Thousand Islands for 4 or 5 days and then making our way back here towards the port of Rochester again. Very excited about the trip. It is our anniversary trip, so we have no boys with us, no kids. At the boat in the water, we're here at Shumway Marina. We have a slip for the night here. We figured we'd get everything ready the day before so we could just pop on out first thing in the morning. Just putting some last minute things together. Brought some extra groceries, loaded up the fridge. Got some water here, brought some wine with us, and we're really excited. So tomorrow, first thing in the morning, we'll be heading hopefully directly from the port of Rochester to Kingston, provided the weather holds the way that we see it right now. All right, that's it. We'll see you tomorrow.
We will be crossing Lake Ontario in a northeasterly direction, which will take us 80 miles up to Main Duck Island. Once we pass Main Duck Island to starboard, we will enter a marked shipping channel to enter the St. Lawrence River, avoiding shoal fields from Prince Edward to port and shoals between us and Main Duck Island to starboard. We then continue in a northeasterly direction into the St. Lawrence Seaway, keeping Wolfe Island to starboard and the Canadian mainland to port. We are on the we are on
Lake Ontario, St. Lawrence River, a little bit of both.
We are on Lake Ontario, and we're just about to enter the St. Lawrence River on the Canadian side. So we're going to have Kingston to our port and Wolfe Island to our starboard side, and then from Kingston we're going to head into the the
St. Lawrence River?
Yeah, St. Lawrence River, but then the Cataraqua River? Yeah, the south entrance to the Redo Canal, and that's where we'll be staying the night. From the St. Lawrence at Kingston, we turned to port and entered the Cataraqua River and reached the LaSalle Causeway. The causeway was completed in 1917 and connects the city, otherwise divided by the river. The causeway's drawbridge opens every hour on the hour during the boating season to allow boat traffic to pass through.
Upon arrival into Canada, the vessel's master must report the arrival to the Canadian Border Services Agency and declare all persons and items aboard, such as alcohol, fresh foods, weapons, and so on.
Until Monday, but if we leave, if that changes, we'll let you report back in. Nope. Oh, actually, we do have 6. I guess they're the wine coolers, Mike's Hard Lemonade, and that's it. Oh, and Joan, you got that? Oh, I'm sorry, a bottle of wine. That's definitely it. No. No. Yes.
The CBSA will then issue the vessel's master a report number that must be kept in the vessel at all times while in Canada.
Okay, if I could read that back to you. 2016-182-0423.
Jim backs the boat into our assigned slip. We can't wait to see Kingston, but even as we are tying the boat to the dock, boaters approach us and strike up friendly conversation. All the traveling and walking made us hungry, so we stopped for lunch.
We're here in Kingston. We finally made it, and we got a chance to see the market. There was a few children. We're at Sir John's getting some lunch, and it's a big city.
Sir John, it seems like a Scottish restaurant because they don't have haggis on the menu, and we're not big fans of haggis, but maybe you are.
Kind of rhymes.
We're not, so, yeah.
This was our first visit to Kingston, and with less than 24 hours before we had to continue on to our next port of call, we decided to take a guided tour of the city on a trolley with the time we had. The tour took us to the various districts that make up the city and stopped at the most popular points of interest. We will definitely return to Kingston one day to get a closer look.
This beautiful courthouse holds a dark secret. In the basement hung a gallows where many accused were hung by the neck until dead to answer for their crimes.
We left Kingston early the next morning and headed for Gananoque.
There were reports of bad weather ahead, so we decided that instead of finding anchorage at the beach for the night, we would head further east and stay at Peck's Marina in Champagne Bay, safely tied to a dock.
Some thunderstorms may produce gusty winds and heavy rainfall this afternoon. All thunderstorms will produce frequent lightning strikes. Those people who are outdoors, such as boating or hiking, need to pay very close attention to the changing weather conditions and be prepared to move to a safe location well before the storm reaches your location.
We have stayed at this marina many times before, but today was Canada Day. There were people and boats everywhere. We were inches away from neighboring boats on either side of our slip, and most everyone staying here spoke French. We kept a low profile and did little but hang out and relax for our overnight stay here. The bad weather predicted never showed up, aside from a cloudy sky and a few drops of rain. The next morning we left the marina craving some privacy, a nice quiet place we could be alone. The answer was obvious, an island nearby, owned by friends, where we knew we could find just the thing we were looking for.
Two fire-filled comets never could heed that warning to stay in the sky. A kiss on your red lips, descending like this, what a graceful slide. A peculiar ride, 'cause this is our last chance to stop before we crash into that big mistake. We are
At the point, Kev, thinking about you.
The island was just as we remembered it from last year, and we spent the night in our boat tied to the dock, under the stars, 100 miles away from home.
long ago when I was installed.
In the morning, we cruised back to the United States and landed in Clayton, New York.
You were clean from the high to the low.
This is us heading to Clayton by way of passage through the Picton Channel, an area of water between Grindstone and Picton Islands.
It's a boneless breasted chicken. We made it to Clayton, and it's our anniversary. We've been in Canada for 4 days, and now we're back in the United States, and we're having lunch for our anniversary at Channel.
After a visit to the pump out station and some lunch, we decided to cruise around for a while and then head to Potter's Beach to anchor for the night.
Hey, July 3rd, 2016. It's our anniversary today. we had an unforeseen day. Plan was to tell them what the plan was.
Well, we got to Clayton, and it was messy docking a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we were going to
Very
go from
choppy
there
water,
to
windy.
Potter's Beach, and it was we went to Swan Bay to check out Swan Bay. And that was the crazy bumpy.
Yeah.
And then we went to Potter's Beach, and that was no way, chance in hell that we would be able to park there.
The American Channel was a freaking joke. I gotta tell you, some of the people down here are freaking, the way they drive their boats is unbelievable. Like 30, 40 miles an hour, we're creating 7-foot freaking wakes. And the American Channel between Clayton and Alexandria Bay was a freaking joke. So we changed course and we turned around, headed to Potter's Beach. It was choppy out there. The wind was kicking up and it was tough to anchor. And we decided to hell with it. And we came back over to, we're just north of Eel Bay, anchored out in an area between a whole set of islands and shoals, and eat lunch. And we don't really know what we're going to do for the rest of the day. We don't know where we're going to stay yet.
It's an adventure.
For all I know, we could stay just right here for the night and then head into Lake Ontario tomorrow when the lake is supposed to be a little calmer.
Anniversary adventure.
Yeah. Today is Sunday, July.
Victoria on channel 16.
This guy on the radio crashed his boat into a rocks
Anybody on the air?
up the way just a little bit,
Village Quay Marina.
and he had to be towed in.
Right now.
Our trip was coming to an end and we had to begin a course back to Rochester. We made our way out of the river and back to Lake Ontario. We spent our last night, the 4th of July, in Sackett Harbor. What better place to celebrate the 4th of July than this historic town?
Almost immediately upon our arrival to Sackett Harbor, we took a guided tour of the Commandant's house located on the historic battlefield from the War of 1812.
We're ready to take a tour of the Commandant's house in Sackett Harbor.
Commandant Josiah Tatnall lived here with his family and servants in the 1860s after the war.
Also the room of the house in which the entire Tatnall family bathed. They did that about once every 2 weeks. When they did that, they'd have a servant bring up a wash tub. They'd sit it right here.
Hi.
Sorry.
That's okay.
That's all right.
You know where the Boathouse restaurant is?
Yes. Go back up the main strip, and it's just past the second boat launch on your left-hand side.
Next to the hot spot. It's next to there's a beer place, and then you kind of walk down it sets back a little bit.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll tell the baristas.
That was just somebody asking for directions. We don't live
To
here.
the Boathouse, which happens to be the only restaurant that we go to when we're here.
No, we go to two.
Oh, wow. We
Boathouse
go to that one way more than we go to the other one.
Or what's the other one? Tin Pan Galley.
That's NYC. I don't even remember the name of it.
In Coincidentally, there are 3 Game of Thrones references in this video. If you can find all 3, email me at the address on your screen. Maybe something in it for you. Well, we're all packed up and ready to head back to Rochester. It's been a nice trip. It's kind of sad that it's over, but we do got to get back to reality. So
Water looks great.
Yeah, conditions today are, I think, perfect. We're not actually out on the lake yet, so we don't know for sure. But the forecast says the weather's going to be perfect for us for the way back. We should be back in roughly 3 hours, and that's that. So here we go. Still on our way home. We were just cruising by. We just passed Oswego, so we're in between Oswego and Sodus when we slowed down to a stop because we saw something in the water that looked like what we thought to be a jet ski. And we're pretty far out here for a jet ski to be out here. This is really, I mean, we're almost halfway between Canada and the U.S. in the middle of the lake. So we slowed down to see what it was, and it looks like, I didn't want to get too close, but it looks like from the binoculars it's just a whole bunch of balloons, like maybe from the 4th of July, that went up in the air and ended up landing in the middle of Lake Ontario. So everybody's...
It looks like there's something attached to it too, though.
Yeah, that's like the thing that the balloon carries up with it. So it's just balloons, no people in the water, and everything's all good. We just wanted to make sure everybody's okay if there was anybody out there. That's it. We're heading back to Rochester. Here we go.
One life, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. Today, live like I wanna. Let yesterday burn and throw it in a fire, in a fire, in a fire. Fight like a warrior. Today, live like I wanna. Let yesterday burn and throw it in a fire, in a fire, in a fire. Live like a warrior. Today, live like I wanna. Let yesterday burn and throw it in a fire, in a fire, in a fire.
Boats all packed up, and we are heading back home.
Lots to do still.
Yeah, lots to clean up. But we'll be back shortly on our next adventure. Yeah. Hello, we are on another adventure. We are en route to Clayton, New York. We left earlier this morning, about 10 o'clock, and we're going to head to Clayton and be there by tomorrow to meet with the rest of the Entwistle clan, including Joan and Tyler and my mom and dad, my brother, and my sister-in-law and nieces. And but for today, we headed out and took an 85-mile trek up the lake to, it should look familiar, Association Island, the KOA camp. And we're going to spend the night here. It was the boys' choice to stay here instead of making it up to Clayton a day early. So we're going to stay here for the night, and then tomorrow late morning we're going to wake up slow and head to Clayton. And right around 3-4 o'clock, that's when the family should show up. We're going to spend the weekend in 1,000 Islands. I spent the rest of the afternoon cleaning the boat out while the boys played on the island. We took a golf cart ride together to the other side of the island later on to watch the sunset.
Mommy sounds very tired on the phone.
I'll go to the grocery store to get what we need, and that's what I'm not asking about. Super glue. And what else? The printer filters, and then
Provision planning is even more important when you are traveling without a car. Think about it.
And so we left for Clayton to meet with the rest of the family. We arrived at Islander Marina in French Creek Bay at around 4:30 p.m. The wind and current, combined with a tight fit into our slip, made it easier to enter the slip face forward. Our family was at the dock to greet us when we arrived, and everyone pitched in to turn the boat around in its slip using the tie lines.
In the evening, we all walked the town, had dinner together, and did a little shopping.
When you're on a holiday, you can't find the words to say all the things that come to you, and I wanna feel it too. On an island in the sun, we'll be playing and having fun, and it makes me feel so fine I can't control.
The next morning, Uncle Tim rented a boat and brought it back to the marina where we were staying. Uncle Tim was pretty nervous about it.
I'm looking for a summer vibe, got me turning on the radio. I gotta kick these blues, working all day.
But he managed to get it docked safely. We loaded the boats with passengers and gear and headed out to Potter's Beach.
Nothing else to do, but sipping on suds, working on a buzz, keeping my drink in the shade, taking my time with you by my side.
On our arrival to the beach, we were having minor problems trying to sink our anchor without colliding with other boats. Tim's rental boat was stalling out about 100 yards away near the shoals. Eventually, he was able to bring it in.
Stop the boat.
Summer vibe, looking for a summer vibe.
Later in the afternoon, our friends Kay and Beth came to meet us at the beach and gave us all rides on their jet skis. That evening, we returned the rental pontoon boat because it kept stalling on us. We had pizza and wings from Mars Pizzeria delivered to the marina, and after we ate, we all made our separate ways until morning.
In the morning, Dad indulged himself sinfully with a delicious breakfast beverage.
Milk of the poppy.
Hi, we are on our way to Alexandria Bay.
It's Sunday, and it's a very nice day, so we decided to take the cars so that we didn't run into a problem not finding a slip for our boats up there. We're about 5 minutes away. A couple of things that weren't caught on camera. Number one is last night around 9 o'clock, there was a dog fight at the marina on the docks. A nice dog was attacked by some type of pit bull kind of breed dog, and it was injured pretty good, bleeding and whatnot. So that was kind of hot news around the marina last night, talk of the town. The other thing happened just a short time ago. It's disheartening, but a guy that I've known for close to 20 years now, who owns Seaway Slips. It's a marina and lodge in Clayton, New York. The guy's name is Bob. He rented my brother a boat, and for 2 days actually, and the boat wasn't working properly. The owner assumed we were going to bring the boat back immediately after the plugs flooded with fuel, which would have ruined our day at the beach. He felt he could fix the issue on time to re-rent the boat out the next day, and by keeping it at the beach, we potentially lost him business. Well, he did lose business because we will not be using them again. This year, this trip will be the last time we do business with them.
When we arrived to Ave, we stopped for a big lunch and then we did some shopping. The trip to Alexandria Bay would not be complete without ice cream from the Little River Fudge Company. They make their own homemade fudge right there in the store. We returned to Clayton for a round of 2-on-2 before dinner.
Scooby-Doo, whoopie-doo, scenarios, radios, rates more than 4. Scores for the scores that smother dance floors. Now I go for mine, shades of seashore. Ship-shaped, crushed grapes, eights to play tapes. Tapes make drakes, make for the weights of an Ella, an Ea. Simply just a leader. Base in the space means peace, see you later. Later, 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 alligator. Pop blows a weasel and the earth's an inflator. So yo, the D, what the O? Incorporated INC into a flow. Funk, flip, flat, back, first, fist, foul, fight, 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 laugh. Yo, how'd that sound? Ooh.
It's a leader quest mission and we got the goods here. Never on the left cause my right's my good ear. I could give a damn about an ill subliminal. Stay away from crime so I ain't no criminal.
Oh, I'm ready to play again.
At the marina, we grilled up some hamburgers and hots and then said our goodbyes. Tim and Janine headed home and Mom and Dad were leaving first thing in the morning.
Justin and I had one more day before our lake crossing back to Rochester. We decided to visit Island 57 in hopes to catch up with Aunt Sally and the Crest family, who were up for the weekend building a new porch on the back of the cabin. I was very anxious to see how it was coming along. When we arrived at the island, we found that everyone had already left, but that wasn't going to stop me from taking a peek at the project.
We discovered a clan of black minks on the island playing and taking a curious interest in us. I convinced Dad to let me fish for a bit, and other than this catfish, I caught a goby fish. Goby fish are an invasive species that feed on other fish eggs. We decided to feed the goby to a mink.
We canceled our plans to sleep at the beach and stayed the night here, because this place is hard to leave. In the morning, we left the island and stopped for fuel at Wellesley Island State Park Marina. And then we continued on our journey southwest through Lake Ontario, headed for home. On our way back, we headed into shore and landed in Fairhaven, Little Sodus Bay. There, we added a little more gas to the boat, and then we tied up at a public dock and watched the boaters launch their boats while we ate lunch.
There's a ship without a name that is sailing to the middle of the sea. Water that is deeper than it's ever seen.
We were invited on a camping trip in late August to Wellesley Island, and we had planned to take the Joan Lynn back to the St. Lawrence River via Lake Ontario on August 27th. But due to a rough marine forecast and time constraints, decided to trail the boat to Clayton and launch at the municipal dock instead. Once the boat was in the water, we stopped to have lunch in Clayton before heading to the campgrounds on Wellesley Island, where we would meet the Cress and Pissner families for the weekend. Here is a look into the great time we had.
Once we got the boat tied up, we made our way to the other side of the cove to set up camp.
We were playing a game last night where Cole was very brave. The island is a peninsula. The object of the game was there were seekers and finders. One person had to start at the bathroom, the other people had to start at the point. The object of the game was for the seekers to get to the end of the point.
I just want.
That little chipmunk. Oh, I didn't know I was on GoPro. Eat our chipmunk.
Who did?
Chips, marshmallows, bread, and pickles.
A squirrel?
No, that. Well, I don't know. One right there.
A chipmunk. Blasted chipmunk.
And I don't understand why I sleep all day. And I start to
Jumping off the cliffs kept the kids busy and no necks got broken.
Wind is cold.
See? You gonna do this?
The neon light from the building lets you know you're home. You'd go way back when if you wanted to be my friend or you call me, I'd understand it's true. I don't feel like I'm falling, no I don't feel like I'm falling, no I don't feel like I'm falling down. the ground. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Wait there, I'll be right back down at Times Square. It's a heart attack, all the feeling makes you feel so.
Cheers to Marcy. Happy birthday.
You're 42.
So do men, even the walls start caving.
We ended the night with a few rounds of catchphrase, a game where you try to make the others guess a word you describe without saying it sounds like.
The boat launch. The big, huge canal. Yeah, which one?
Erie Canal.
All right, Danielle, you are being
It's the
recorded.
thing you put in the bathtub to fill up the water? Sounds like bugs.
Oh.
That was not funny.
Oh, please use it to tell your speed.
Radar.
This is something that would be on a wheel, really slippery, shiny.
Hubcap.
If somebody wants to get high-end hubcap, what kind of material is
rims.
it? So what kind of shiny?
White ball.
Shiny
Chrome.
silvery?
Silver.
Chrome.
Metallic.
Chrome. Okay.
Jeez. Kind of
Oh,
nice.
it's not cold.
Hot.
Okay. What do we breathe?
Air.
Hot air.
Hot air balloon.
Oh, she got that right away.
I was gonna say that.
I was doing peace talk.
Okay, it's not a dictionary, but
Thesaurus.
Encyclopedia. You have to replace this on your house. It's the top of the house.
Roof.
To replace your roof?
It's a country.
Japan.
No, I mean it's a
Canada.
it's a continent. Sorry.
South America.
No, it's where Italy and Ireland and Switzerland.
Europe.
I said that.
She's got a nice something. Yeah. Referring to boobs. Right. There you go. Oh, what do you put on turkey? Oh my God.
Stuffing. Gravy.
Something on top of the cake.
Frosting.
Yeah.
Oh! Valiant effort. Nice job. Jim wins. Yes.
One love through life, memories are made of this. Memories are made of this.
That night, Joan and I stayed anchored out on the boat. The next morning, it wasn't long before the boys got hungry and canoed out to the boat to get some breakfast. They were soon followed by the others.
You gotta wrestle him, that's it. And you can't. Come on. You gotta stand up. You gotta stand up. Last man standing.
Now you gotta
It's all about fun, not safety.
Yeah, it is. It's all about safety, not fun.
Fine.
left Wellesley Island and headed home a day early. The weather was great today, but tomorrow it looks horrible. And it was. Our last cruise of the summer of 2016 was a prequel to what lies ahead for next summer's adventures. To cruise a vast area of water around Prince Edward County, Ontario, located in northeastern Lake Ontario. This is an area we have never cruised through before. Our research revealed that the area is comprised of many small cities, villages, and small settlements, and is rich in history, agriculture, and beautiful natural and man-made landscapes to explore. We plan to explore this entire region over the many summers to come, but with this summer of 2016 coming to a close, we had only 2 nights stay available to us this year. The plan was to make our lake crossing on Friday, September 23rd. However, Mother Nature had other plans for us. Due to a system that had passed over the lake the day before, the lake was yielding 6-foot waves and 20-knot winds from the northeast, and a small boat advisory was in effect until the next morning. We had no choice but to stay docked at the marina and shorten the trip by half the time by leaving Saturday morning, September 24th.
Tax the rich, feed the poor, till there are no rich no more.
On Saturday morning, we departed from the port of Rochester and headed north across the lake to Presqu'ile Bay.
We are headed to Trenton in Canada, Prince Edward County, and we got a little bit of lake issues here. Not a lot of wind, but we have swells coming from the north, hitting us northwest here on our starboard side. They're about 2 to 4 feet, which is a little uncomfortable, but we're taking it slow. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to put the boat on plane, which means that a 1.5-hour trip is going to take about 4.5 hours.
Bees make honey, who needs money, monopoly.
Alright, we are approaching Canada, Presqu'ile Bay, and we are just passing Scotch Bonnet Island, about 13 miles off of our starboard side, which is exciting.
On our way back to Rochester the next afternoon, we got a closer look at Scotch Bonnet Island, also known as Egg Island. The Canadian government built a limestone lighthouse on this low-lying island in 1856 that was first powered by expensive whale oil. The tower stood 54 feet tall and was attached to the living quarters of the lighthouse keepers. The lighthouse served its purpose until 1959 when it was replaced with a skeletal tower. Although the Canadian government does not permit access to the island, the ruins of an old tower are clearly visible from the water. Scotch Bonnet is now a protected bird sanctuary and research site and provides a nesting area for the largest colony of herring gulls on Lake Ontario. Lying between Scotch Bonnet and the southwest shore of Prince Edward County is Nicholson Island. It can be seen off our port bow here. 150 years ago, Scotch Bonnet lighthouse keepers with rowboats would row the mile-long stretch from Nicholson Island to Scotch Bonnet and back daily during the winter months, as the limestone facilities afforded to them on Scotch Bonnet were not conducive to the powerful blistering winter weather.
The Murray Canal was completed in 1889. Its construction took 7 years. The canal spans 5 miles east and west. Its geographical significance making Prince Edward County an island by definition. The canal was used primarily by commercial vessels until the 1950s when the St. Lawrence Seaway took over the job. Along the canal are 2 swing bridges that open and close to allow boats to pass. The toll is paid at the Brighton Swing Bridge by passing $4.50 Canadian to the bridge keeper, who holds a cup out at the end of a long pole.
Hey, how are you? Good, how are you?
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Have a good one.
They don't have nowhere to go. The oceans are done. Only shines when you're alone.
bad side, but we have entered the Bay of Quinte. It's a body of water north of Prince Edward County, and we are approaching the city of Trenton. It's right over here on our port side, and we're going to be entering that river system. Right there at the entrance is the marina we're going to be staying at for the night, the Trentport Marina. Trentport Marina. So that's what you're
Joan Lynn, this is the Trentport Marina, go ahead.
Yes, we are just outside your marina for the first time. We're looking for the gas dock. Is it the first entrance with the Trentport Marina no wake sign?
No, you're going to want to continue north as if you're going up the river and past the white buildings. On your port side will be the fueling station, over.
Okay, very good. I think I see it. Thank you very much. We'll be standing by at 6:08 for the time being. We're going to be checking in. We have a transient slip.
Okay, head north as if you were heading up the river and take a port turn just before you get to the white buildings, and that very last dock is IDOT, or the very first dock is IDOT, and I'll just send an attendant out to grab your lines, over.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, and we'll be standing by on 6:08 for the time being. Thank you.
Trentport standing by on 6:08.
We have reached Trenton, Canada, in Ontario, and we are docked at the Trentport Marina. This facility is the first time we've been here, but what we've seen so far, it's absolutely gorgeous. Brand new docks this year.
Free laundry.
Free laundry if we're here that long, but we're not. I mean, the minute we pulled up, we had an attendant help us dock up, tie up, and next door to us is a couple who are staying in Monterey, and they were very friendly, quick to greet us, and we talked to them for a few minutes, checked into Canada, and with really no problems, and we're going to go check out the town right now to see what there is to see.
Among the things this marina has to offer, a beautiful boaters lounge with fireplace and TV, free laundry, gas grills, picnic area, and a corridor of exceptionally clean individual restroom and showers.
Oh, everybody's got their own bathroom.
We are at Tommaso's restaurant in Trenton, waiting for our dinner. This is the side salad. Hi from Tommaso's. Hi from Tommaso's.
They've got great security here. Even the docks are locked. We got our own personal pass.
What you doing?
Looking at the weather forecast.
What are our plans for today?
Well, based on the weather forecast, we're probably going to have to kick out of here after lunch, because tomorrow is going to be poo on the lake and it's supposed to rain. So
what are you going to do next year for the video? Are you going to do the same thing you did this year, or are you going to change it up a little bit?
Well, we'll go to different places, visit some different places, do some new things in the places we've already been. I'd like to get a drone. Can you buy me a drone for Christmas? A lot of people ask us questions about, like, you know, how we kind of like provision and do our trips and stuff, you know, and people ask like the same questions. So I thought maybe like next year we can focus more on addressing those questions. It's beautiful scenery that we try to capture. That's one reason why I'd like to get the drone.
Sleeping in the clothes you love. It's such a shame we have to see them, but shame we have to see them, but what's gonna be left of the world if you're not in it? What's gonna be left of the world? Oh. Every minute and every hour, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you more. Every stumble and each misfire, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you more.
On our way back to Rochester, the bulk carrier Ursula crossed paths with us. This 565-foot vessel ran aground on Christmas Day 2013 near Cape Vincent, carrying 20,000 tons of wheat through the Great Lakes to Europe. Much of the wheat had to be removed from the ship's holds by barge so that the ship would float again. We kept our distance.
Call me a fool, put me in my place, put me in my place, pick me up off the floor, put me in my place, put me in my place. Every minute and every hour, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you more. Every stumble and each misfire, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you more. Watching through my fingers, watching through my fingers, 'cause every minute and every hour, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you more.
video's over. Why are you still watching?